Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am Yukisha, and this is
Takesha.
and welcome to our girl chat. You barely said it this week.
I think because I was stuck on conversations.
Because you heard me fumble it.
Yeah. You know.
Well, hey.
But in the nice professional fashion,
I kept
it
going.
just kept going.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Because again, if this is your first time joining us, we do not edit anything from this conversation. So any blooper that happened, you're going to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
just like a live show.
Yeah.
Just like Beyonce. Still going.
We are back in week 2, season 2, or would you say
this
season
is
3?
The third year, so I would say season 3.
This is the third year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah, last year was year 2, season 2.
I don't think that I realized that it was year 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think I recently said to someone that
and probably because the way we normally count, you know what I'm saying? Like this would be 2 years if we wasn't counting the first year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Starting in 2024?
Yeah.
But since I counted, we did that whole year and then 2025. So now 2026.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at girl. That went by fast. Did you think we was gonna make it to 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Mm-hmm.
I did too.
I never anticipated a pause, but I definitely knew that it would be continuing.
Did you think the pause though was necessary for? I mean, not for the reason that it happened, but do you think sometimes a pause is good just to refresh and regroup, or things like that? Or in this situation when you're doing a podcast, that you should just keep flowing?
No, I actually think that a pause is good. Like now with doing a podcast and with everything that happened, it really made me think about the TV shows when you watch the show and it's just like
in the season stuff, yeah,
and then it comes back where it's just like, you know what, maybe your body may need a moment just to break away and do some things differently, and come back.
Yeah, that makes
just
sense.
To kind of reassess versus like, let's go, because through everything that we were facing, we were still showing up every week. We never took a pause for like just, next week we're going on vacation, just to vacation.
Yeah.
So I think that maybe that may be something that we may need to do. Like,
and you know how shows do reruns because they on a season break or something like that. Yeah, not that we gonna do reruns because all of our episodes are there for y'all to see.
Scroll down.
But yeah, I think, and you said that even everything we would go through, we still would show up. That's one of the main things with doing this that helps me is no matter what's going on. And I have been really good about and cover up is not the right word, but just pushing through if something is going on to still show up like nothing is going on. But I get to a point where I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to show up like that today. Like when you saw me today, I was not put together like I usually do. But I think that I have to learn that that's okay. That you're good for that. Like whatever I'm going through is just what I'm going through, and whoever around me just gonna have to understand, and that's what it is. But and I think that could have been like part of the way I was raised too, being the pastor's daughter, and my family.
I think it's our culture because I was raised the same way. Okay. But my mental makeup won't allow me to step into that role.
Mm-hmm. So you were raised the same way.
Like presentation matters.
Yeah, presentation matters. But did you used to cover? I use the word cover up, mask. Did you used to mask, or even as a young child you didn't?
No, I didn't. Then it would come off as anger.
Or you acting funny. Or what's wrong with you?
Yep.
Or you being disrespectful?
Yes.
You got all of that?
I got all of that. From my circle, you know what I'm saying? And my parents and family members and stuff, when it was just like I just couldn't give what I needed to give. So I acted out in a rage or just anger, and not necessarily on purpose, but I don't think I really knew how to regulate my emotions.
Yeah.
And that's how it showed up.
And I think now, I know we talked about this before. I parent very different from how I grew up. So me realizing that my children are not like me, and I don't make them mask anything. So I got one child that's very introverted. I have one that's very, opposite of that. The introverted one, I believe that I used to be like, make sure you speak, or make sure you do this, I stopped that. I completely stopped that, because whatever that child is feeling, it ain't personal to whoever's in the room. It's just, like you said, it was your makeup of who you are. I realize that if they're comfortable, then they're gonna, show something different. But I'm not going to force a level of comfort.
And we were raised where certain things that you didn't do was disrespect.
Yes.
When it's really, and I won't say in some instances like all of it, but sometimes it's not like I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just uncomfortable between this whole crowd of people when you're the only person that I know.
Yeah, yes. Like, make sure you speak, or make sure you smile, or make sure. I stop that.
I'm still very much so standoffish like that. I have a friend, I don't know, it's been a couple years, she threw a party for her son, and I sat by myself the whole time.
Yeah.
And I remember the guy that was the camera guy was just like, "Are you okay?" Like, he kept talking to me, and I wanted to be like, you
ain't gotta talk to me.
Like, I'm okay. Like, yeah. I'm here. I want to show up and support because these my people.
Yeah.
But they my people, and I people with them when we all alone. But in this group setting, this is too much for me. Lot.
Yeah.
But I'm okay right here.
Yeah. And I think that's what should be understood.
But I'm pretty sure some of the people there probably think like, oh, she had an attitude or standoffish, or my favorite one is, the too bougie, because I definitely can fall into that bougie bucket.
Yeah.
But that's not really who I am when you know me. One-on-one, I'm like extroverted.
Yeah. That part. It's like when you get to know a person like that, you realize like they ain't bougie at all. They very extra. From the moment we met, we talked all the time. Mm-hmm. But when we are around people, and I know that you're quiet in certain areas, I know what it is. So it's not like, oh, she don't like these people. It's just maybe an uncomfortable setting.
Yes.
Because it's all new. And I had to realize that with my own child. Like, once they get comfortable, they're gonna be.
Where there's some people who, wherever they go, like, they can just mingle in and talk, and it's okay. Where that's not me.
Yeah, and
I'm going. Oh, I know this one person. I'm gonna be on you like white on rice. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it's just.
And our community has a bad habit of saying, "Did you see how she was acting? She wasn't talking to nobody. She wasn't." Mixing in with nobody. What's wrong with her? They must be having problems, or she must be that. Not knowing that people be fighting on the inside.
Yes.
With that.
Yes.
It's a struggle.
It's a struggle. It was a struggle for me to even come.
Yeah.
Because I know what I'm gonna have to deal with when I get there.
Yeah. But you want to show up for.
But I want to show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Woo, child, that's hard, because it's a lot of times when you and I are talking, you like, I gotta go, I was invited to this, and you got to put on your whole plan to prepare your mind to
interact with other humans.
Yeah. And that's a lot for some people. And
yes.
and me like experiencing it 101 now, and I've never, and I've always been a social person. So it's never been like a big deal for me. I can mix and mingle with any setting. But now with me experiencing it 101, it's like, oh, and I had to learn what made me uncomfortable as a child, just simple stuff like I don't want to force that on mine. And I'm not going to. And if people don't like it, I don't care. I'm about raising non-traumatic kids, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not about to cause trauma, extra trauma for you, which a lot of us have trauma from childhood.
Yes.
And I don't want my children to have trauma because of me.
My son and I were talking the other day, and he said to me, he was talking about how he would get spankings. We say whoopings. So I was just like, I'm sorry. And you know me, I was just like, that came from slavery. I didn't know no better. You do something wrong, you get your butt whipped.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I was like, and I was young. And now that I'm older, I really wish certain situations I would have talked through it versus going straight to I'm about to whoop your butt.
Did you get whooped? I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you get whoopings like that?
Not for real.
So why do you?
I don't know. I think that I felt like I had to do it because he was a boy.
Oh.
So it was just like, in my mind, I thought that that's what the man would do.
Yeah.
To
discipline
him. Yes.
So you was trying to be
that's where I was trying to figure that out. But no, I didn't get whoopings for real. But the crazy part of that story is he was like, shoot, I'm proud to have that story. I'd be like, I'm one of them kids who got their butt whooped.
Why can you hear him saying that?
And I was like, only you would be able to, make this into a joking situation. Yes. Like it's cool. He was just like, because I'm one of them kids. And I was like, well, you for sure are.
Does he know now that you probably wish that you was more on the nurturing side of that?
Yes. Because, I talk about it a lot now. We have those conversations because I want him to know. And I guess because being older, thinking about things, going through therapy, life experiences, you just have to realize, because I tell him all the time, I'm just a girl.
Yeah.
I still have so much kid in me because I didn't experience certain things. So I'd be like, I'm still just a girl at the core. And I know that I'm your mom, but sometimes I need you to remember that and look at that. So I have them conversations with him because I don't think he ever really realized it because I've just been his mom. And I just do things and, and you get mad at your parents. So I've had that, like, you know what? When I birthed you, I literally had just turned 19.
Yeah.
It was a birthday, 2 months, you here.
Yeah.
So I didn't even have my stuff figured out, and I'm figuring out me and you. So I'm just doing this on the whim. And I was determined to do it by myself. I remember telling my mama, that's my son. Don't tell me about my son. And that was one thing that everybody knew, even to this day. Don't tell Takesha nothing about her son.
Yeah, I know it. I think that I will ask you now, like, do you want to hear what I think? If we're talking about him, like, a lot of times I know it's venting, but I'll ask, like, do you want to know what I think? Because as a friend, you want to give your tough suggestion like you give me. But I think that I don't mind hearing a suggestion from you when it regards to my kids because it doesn't come from a place of
I really come from a place of love.
You come from a place of love, and you don't judge it about how you raised yours. You look at the situation as these are mine and how they
are the full circle.
Yeah, the full circle.
Yes.
You don't come at it like, well, this is why I did with Jordan, or this is why I shouldn't have did with Jordan. You literally look at the personality
That's
of
what
the
I was about
children.
to say. I try to always think about the personalities when I'm dealing with or talking about some people. I try and think about the personality because that's what matters.
Yeah, it does.
We really put everybody in this one bucket, and it's like that's just not how it works.
It's not how it works at all.
You have to parent your children differently because they're different people.
Yeah, and that's why I said I don't mind it, because I know you actually looking at the character and the personality of the child before you say, I think you should do this. You will say, well, Elijah is like this. Elijah, based on what you know and your experience with him, you'll say, so I think you probably should, so I know. But a lot of times people will try to give you a suggestion based on how they raised theirs, what they family done did, what they church probably done said or did, and
friends and everything else they didn't know,
and it's not the same. So I think that's why I can, when you'll say something, I could be like, I knew you ain't coming from a place of just trying to,
Yeah, and I'm very selective when I even talk about my son or vent or whatever. Like Jordan is very surface level conversation with people, very much surface level, because I know how I am. That's the one area where I may cut you.
Yeah.
So let me just remove that. And I'm telling you, if I didn't share something with you, I value you.
Yeah. You done said that. You was like, I don't want to love nobody like I love him.
Yeah, I don't. Never.
But you want to get married. You don't.
Girl, if I married a man and loved my husband like I love Jordan, that man would run all over me. Ain't no way.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, your love with your husband gonna be conditional?
Yes. It sure is, sir. Future husband. It's conditions over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's conditional. I feel that.
And I honestly think that we talk about we want this unconditional love. But in your life, if people really sit back and think about it, how many people do you truly love unconditionally? Like, I don't want to lose you as a friend. But if you do some whack undercut, something that's just like, oh my God, I'm going to have to step away. But
we both look back like.
But does that mean that I don't love you? I still love you, but I have conditions on how I'm going to deal with you. Because when I think of the conditional love, I'm thinking that I'm putting my boundaries on it.
Yeah.
That's how I'm thinking about it. Whereas, unfortunately, with my son, I know the boundaries, but every boundary, everyone is just like he just jump over. Let it go. Like, oh, that was the rule last week.
Yeah, and I've witnessed that with it, but I think I'm the same way with mine.
You are.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I think I'm the same way. So I think that when you will say, I think I'm gonna tell him this, and then you'll change your mind, like I ain't even tell him, and I'll be like, I get it, because I'm like,
you say that all the time, like I get it.
Yeah, that'd be my thing. You see, I'll become with no judgment because I get it. I love mine the same, and
I think what we where we parent similar is, like you said before, thinking about their personalities. Whereas I know Jordan is like me, for instance. If we on a piece of run, that's just what it is. And I'm not going to be like, you ate that 5 times, or this is what you eat. You need to try this. You need to do better. You know what? No, I'm just thanking God that you eating. So if you own this, we gonna ride this way until you don't want to ride it anymore, because I know, certain things about him just as a person. So I try to take that all the time into consideration, where it may be some things that I want to go hard on. I'll be like, you know what? this isn't the moment. Let me step back and think of how he's processed that. And I will say, definitely, I've learned some of that just through my friendship with you, just us talking about parenting together and in general with our kids, and most definitely with my dad, because, I'll say something and I think, because for me, it's automatic and understood. And my dad will remind me, like, well, I'm pretty sure he probably thought this. And if you say this, then you can't automatically be mad at your child about something that you did not say or teach them.
That part, because I had to learn that though, because in my mind, I would say you need to do this. I'm thinking more on expanded on that subject, but I don't say it. So when they don't do it, I'm like, that's not, I didn't, I can't get mad or holler or yell, when we grew up where they did it, but I realized like, oh, I didn't give it, because they'll say, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, my mom would be like, you need to wash the dishes. No, I'm sorry. You need to clean the kitchen up. So for me, I literally thought cleaning the kitchen was I wash the dishes. But it's like, no, you need to wipe the counter down. You need to sweep. You need to do this.
Yeah.
So that's how I, viewed it. But it was just like, if you don't give specific instructions, it's just not going to happen.
Because everybody brain works differently. And I had to learn that as my kids grew up. It was like, my daughter takes what you say literally. If you say something, she's going to be like, okay.
And some things they're not thinking about. Because I had to remember I was doing adulting things for so long, whereas I played that role to relieve my son from that. So he's not. So I cannot get mad at him that every Thursday, like clockwork, he's not thinking about taking the garbage out. Because you're not a homeowner.
Yeah.
You're not following the leaf pickup and all of these different things.
That makes sense. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Because when Elijah's here, out of school, I'll be thinking, the trash.
Yeah,
like, boy.
But it's just like, you're not thinking about that because you're a kid.
I wasn't thinking about it when I was a kid.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. I don't know when they put the trash out.
Yeah.
But we're like, and then with they boys, like, you're supposed to. Yeah. So it's just like, now I when my dad was talking about it, I was just like, oh, okay. And I think me and you had a brief conversation. So now I'm just like, I say, can you take the trash out?
Yeah.
Today I didn't say nothing at all. And when you came, I was like, oh, look at the trash at the dirt.
Because when it becomes repetition, maybe then he'll remember. But I unless it's because we had like weeks where it was like, this is your week's wash dishes. We don't really do that now.
No.
But we do also expect them to read our brain. Like, every week is, trash.
You see it like this, you need to do this, but they so used to us cleaning up and taking care and doing things. Like, we do so much for our kids. First of all, let's just be real. We don't want to do it. So good and doggone well they don't want to do it.
Yeah. And somebody probably is going to disagree with us when we talk about this. Like, no,
sure.
my child, no. My child, no. Your child, no. But it's not your child's, home. Like, when they get their place, it's going to be different. And people always joke about, I can't wait till you grow up and get your place, and I'm going to come over there. They ain't going to know what it's like until they get their own. Until then, I have to reiterate, hey, tomorrow I need you to take the trash out. Tomorrow's Monday. Please take and then it gets to remember it.
And I mean, my thing is, sometimes your kids do know. Some things we do know. Some things we don't know. Some things we need to be told. Some things we need to be reminded of. And as adults, we forget certain things.
I don't think that everything that they may know or may not know deserves a hollering session.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. Even if you are angry, because the garbage makes me angry.
I know. You've had a talk with me about the garbage.
Angry.
Yeah.
But my son does not know that.
He's never known you got that angry.
He's never known that I've gotten that angry about it.
In all these years?
In all these years. He don't know. My mama bought that new garbage can because she was mad at me and it was easy for her to roll to the curb.
Cause you get so where you were getting so mad to the point where you was like, I'm not even gonna ask him. You just do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But then you'll be looking like, he know I did it. So why that make you even angrier that you would do it instead of just like you do now, just say, hey, can you take the trash out?
I don't even do that now.
Now he just do it.
Today he just did it.
So
but I think because he's noticed I was out, like everybody's out, so he was just like, oh, okay, like let me put it out. But no, I don't. After I bought that, I just started doing it. But then when I was having a conversation talking about my dad, it made me think about what we were saying earlier, where I was just like, oh yeah, he's not thinking about that.
Why you didn't let him know how angry you were?
Because with me, I have these like levels of anger. And that trash, as simple as it is on one of my highest levels. So the wrong thing, clank, clank. You know, so it's just like certain things I know where I'm just like, whatever you say is going to really not be good enough and piss me off. So I'm not going to have the conversation ever or until I can calm down. Listen, one thing about me, we talk about this all the time, how we are self-aware. I'm very self-aware, and I really have learned now how to control my anger. Because I did not always know how to control it. And as much as I love my son, I can spaz out on him very much so, very quickly.
That being self-aware, I'm becoming self-aware. In the last, I think it's and I can't remember who I was talking to this week. It might have been my sister. I was saying, becoming self-aware is like it's you're never going to stop just being like you're going to continue. It's just like the healing journey. It's levels to it where you've healed from this, you heal from that. Like you are self-aware on that area in your life, but I'm becoming self-aware on all areas. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't think we ever get to a point where it's just I'm completely self-aware on everything. I think when it comes to
definitely, because I think with each experience.
Yes.
So like I'm self-aware now, but when future husband come, there may be areas where I need to work on because I have never experienced this before.
Exactly. I think that being self-aware helps with all relationships.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. And I think the biggest thing with being self-aware is just being able to receive information that you don't necessarily like and taking accountability for it. And a lot of people don't like to receive information about themselves that they don't like. And my example, and I'm going to just keep it between me and you on how we did the empathy thing. Anybody else I would have said that to? I'm empathetic. I be caring about you. I love you. You my friend. And no. I can't believe she said. But you was like,
But you also knew, because you're self-aware, you also knew at that point
when I could deliver
when you could deliver it. Because I tell people all the time now, I don't know why I be telling them this, I'm not easily offended. I'm really not. Like, you know, it's not going to make me feel less about myself if you tell me, Keisha, you're not empathetic. That's something I'm becoming now, because now I'm self-aware, or I'm learning to be self-aware, but I cannot deliver that, to other people, because a self-aware person knows when somebody else is self-aware.
Yeah.
So you knew that Keisha's not, now she's self-aware. She can receive this, and that was the moment.
She can receive it. She can think about it and not be offensive trying to defend whatever it is, because a lot of times the people closest to you, they really see your flaws. And we look at flaws negatively when we shouldn't, because it's just who we are. It's just our makeup.
Ain't none
and
of
like
us
you
perfect.
said, we forever growing, so it's gonna be forever changing. I love when people tell me something about me, because I'll be like,
You know who tell me something about me? My kids will tell me. they'll be in agreement with whatever it is.
Oh, me and my sister would do that to my mom, and I could hear her now saying, "Y'all bullying me." That's what she used to tell us.
I never tell them they bully me, even if I don't like what they're saying. Like, it could be a situation, because my kids are very inclusive. We didn't grow up, to me, in a society that was inclusive. My children are very inclusive. They treat people the same. They love everybody. They got friends that's gay, lesbian, pansexual, whatever. And this is not conversations that they have with these people. They're just their friends. They love them. So I remember at one point when I realized that they were like this, I was like, and I'm not like homophobic, and I was like, Elijah, you got gay friends? And he was like, that's my boy. And they looked at me like, you I can't remember the word they said, but I was like, no, I'm not. And then I thought about it, like, they're inclusive and they're actually doing what God tells us to do, which is show love to everybody. And I made a comment to him, like, what he was doing was wrong, when he wasn't doing anything but just being friendly to somebody. And I was like, oh wow, they will correct me. And me being self-aware, I don't get defensive anymore if they say something to me about, and I just use that as an example, but they've done it plenty of times where I'll sit there and listen, like, really? That's what y'all think about me? Like, and it don't even be anything like super bad. It's just just be like, mama, that's not nice. That's not, and I'm like, wow, if your children have to say this to you, and a lot of people don't want to listen to their kids because you think they're kids. I don't have to listen to them.
They don't know what they're talking about. I gotta listen to
them. Yeah, I'll listen to mine. I don't care. I'll listen to mine. We all in this together, where the only way I'm going to be an example for them to grow is if I show them I'm growing. How am I going to teach them growth if they see me be the same forever? And I can't correct something that they think is wrong when really it is wrong. And I'm like, oh, let me fix that, because I want to be an example for them. So yeah, I'm self-aware. Is levels to it. I'm glad that, I am learning to be self-aware. Some areas I've, conquered the self-awareness where I know to keep my mouth shut on certain stuff because people ain't ready to receive it. And I don't go around trying to tell people, everybody I know, you wrong about this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I still feel like at the same time, it's a no judgment zone too. Yeah. Because what I most definitely understand, just because I ain't going to do something don't mean that you can't do it. But what I do know is I'm never going to tell somebody to do something that I wouldn't do. That's one of my pet peeves. People will tell me to do something and be like, well, I know I would never do it again, but you should. That makes me mad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that makes me mad. Don't tell me to do something that you wouldn't do. I be on fire and I don't never say nothing. I just be on fire on the inside. Like, you just pissed me off, but I keep on going. But yeah, I don't like that. But
is it because if they won't do it, you think, why would you try to lead me down a path
where you won't even go?
Yeah.
Like, make that make sense.
Yeah.
Because I had somebody tell me you should try online dating. And I was just like, nah, like that. I just want to meet somebody organically. And was just like, yeah, I tried it once, but I would never do it again.
You looking like, why you going to tell me to do it and you won't do it?
Won't do it. Said you would never do it again, but you done just told me that. So I was just like, oh, okay. But that's one of my things that I just disturbs me. But that makes sense. I try not to be judgmental, because I always try to think like we are individuals. We all grew up with different backgrounds, think different things, all of that. I mean, me and my son have so many similarities, but at the same time, we are like night and day with certain things. And I just be like, for real? Like that's how you process that? Yeah. I'd be like, I see that point of view because it's whatever, but
it does not matter if you raised him. He got his own mind.
Yes, but I am definitely like open to hear things about me that are going to make me a better person. And fortunately, the people I don't have people in my life anymore that opinion I don't value.
So all the people who opinions you don't value, you already removed them from your life.
Yeah. So at this point, if you are telling me something, it should be coming from a place of, love. And then again, it can be a conversation. It's not, everything don't have to be confrontational. It's a conversation. But yeah, I don't have nobody in my life right now that I won't.
That's really, really deep, that you don't have anybody in your life that you don't value their opinion or suggestion, about things. Just like, coworkers wouldn't tell you anything anyway. Y'all just talk about work. You keep work, just work. But like your close-knit people are people that you value their opinions. And so you're open to listening to them.
Yep.
And do most time you find that those people tell you, give you sound advice or wisdom or whatever?
Yeah, I think for the most part, what I realized though, and I'm very grateful for this, is my crew, mostly all of my peeps, get me. So it's never where I feel like I have to put on a show. Like, it's just like, you know what, Keisha, I already took in consideration that this may not be something you want to do.
You know what? You saying this and me knowing your peeps, your small group of peeps, is absolutely correct. They all get you. I've had a conversation with each one of them, and yes, they all get you. And I don't know if I could say that about all of mine, which is interesting to me.
And I don't really think a lot of people can really say that.
Because I think recently you was invited to a birthday some months ago or something, and it was a week where you were struggling, and you was like, I don't know if I can go. And then I think you went, and they were like, I didn't even expect you to come.
I don't remember.
Maybe you didn't go, and then you said, I'm sorry. Maybe you didn't go. And it was like, oh, I didn't expect you.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I didn't go.
You didn't
it was
go.
Just like, I didn't expect you to come, like it was no big deal, because that be the thing where it's just like, I have forced myself to do certain things because I wanted to show up.
Yeah.
But, and not that I do better one-on-one or a small group, like very intimate. But when I'm coming and it's your whole family and I don't know your family like that, it's just like, dang, I want to show up, but I'm still gonna be that not the person that you even recognize that I am. That, because that version of me you're not used to seeing if I'm not used to being around. But
a good example of that though would be my birthday. And you be saying, I can't believe I missed. And I'm like, girl, I don't think twice about that.
Just like, you don't even think twice about it, because in my mind, and I recently realized this about me, and I actually had a conversation. It's funny that we brought up like the people at work, because you know how I am with work and the metrics and everything with that. And I told her today, I said, my problem that I'm working on is I put my self-worth with those numbers. So I put my worth when my friends don't show up or do something. I take it personal, like, oh, they don't like me, they mad at me, when really we just going through life and maybe just don't even feel like it. So I projected that, where it was just like, Keisha not gonna be my friend no more. She's not gonna understand if I don't come. I'm having all of these mental lectures when it's just like, everybody is like, girl, we get you.
Your people get you. And I think that when people, like, maybe somebody, they're asking me like, where's Takesha? And I was like, I don't even know what I said, but my attitude, how some people will say that and be like, girl, she ain't come. I never was like, she ain't come. It was just,
right, like, she ain't here, she good, she ain't here. Like, let's keep the party rolling. You need to show me some pictures. I don't even know what you wore that day.
I never showed you the picture.
And with me not being on Facebook,
I'll show you.
I know you had to post something.
Yeah, I did. I had a photographer there.
She had a whole photographer. I done missed out on a photo shoot, y'all. But I was down and out.
Yeah, but I think that is what, when you say my peeps, they get me, I'm like, when that made me think, like, yeah, they absolutely do get you. But I don't think a lot of people can say that, because when it comes to situations like that or whatever, you know, if people don't show up, it looks like, you know, they're not a good friend. And friendships end over that. Instead of knowing, if you know them, and I know my friend is struggling with something right now, I'm gonna have another birthday. We can hang this year. We gonna hang for hers. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like
I'm what was you about to say? You what? Radar. She's doing what, y'all? Nothing. Drop it in the comments.
No, don't y'all drop nothing in the comments. Nothing. But my point is, you should understand your people, and this is something we've pounded for the last 2 years.
Yeah, we gonna stay on that.
We gonna stay on that.
I think that's the basis of our girl chat, is like really understanding and being able to communicate and accept things from your people.
Yeah, and now that I am self-aware and I meet people now that are more introverted, or maybe struggle with, you know, being in social settings like that, but they still show up. But when they show up, they're very quiet or reserved. Now it does bother me. Like, why would I let that bother me, that somebody else is, you know, a little quiet, more reserved? I just be like, that's their personality.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times people interpret it as, like we were saying earlier, like the whole, what's their problem, the stuck up, or that they're not having a good time. I remember my cousin invited me out, and she hasn't invited me out since then, with her group of people. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure that her friends probably looked at me like, oh, you know, she thinks she's too good, or whatever it was, you know, because we had went out and everybody was drinking and I wasn't drinking. And so her one friend was just like, so you don't drink? And I was just like, I just really don't want to have a drink. Like, you ain't about no good time. I can have a good time without the spirits in my system. I know how to have a good time. Yeah. You know, so it was just like, all I need is some music. I can be in this mug by myself.
Yeah.
With the right DJ. Yeah. You know, but ever since then, like, I've only been out with the three of us, like me, her, and her best friend, but her whole friend group. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So I never thought about it before until this moment.
When we went out with my one friend for her birthday, and I asked you to go, and you went, and it was nice because we was at a small table with just, you know, it was 4 of us, and it was other people there, but it was like, to me, it was just us there.
Yep.
So I'm comfortable in settings like that too, but I think I can do both.
But even think about, like, this was a few years ago. You had your birthday dinner at a restaurant. I brought a friend with me.
I don't even remember. You brought a friend with you? Mm-hmm. Was it like when I was in my 40s?
Look, now we doing too much. Okay, look, because we been talking for 43 minutes. I want to say something to you about the other day. I got to reach with y'all. My hair is flourishing. Okay,
it is.
She was like, "Do you want to style?" Because, you know, since the undercut, and I was like, "No, I don't want no style. We ain't got to shut it off." But anyway, she said, "So, you have any plans for Valentine's Day?" And I was like, "Girl, I'm big single." She was like, "When is the last time you went on a date?" Girl, I was like, I think it might have been 20 years ago, maybe before I
is that what you said?
Moved into my house. But she was just like, I just don't understand. Like, you're a nice looking young lady. Like, you mean to tell me that you ain't talked to no men? And when I told her I hadn't,
yeah,
she really was like,
yeah, she couldn't believe it.
She like, how are you breathing? Like, she just couldn't believe it. But it started making me think, like, because she said, I think that men be intimidated. And I'm like, do you think men are intimidated? Because we've had conversations where, think about your life now versus before. what's different before when men were approaching you? Not saying that you don't get them in the DM now, but I'm just talking about like just being out pumping gas or at the grocery store or wherever random.
Okay, I'm going to say this because now I'm experiencing the same thing you experienced, but I also feel like I'm experiencing it in a intentional way. Like I'm intentionally not dating. Like
because I'm like, do my aura give that
but
off?
I definitely believe when you have been healed and you are self-aware, you being protected.
Because I think about my life in general, and everybody will be like, well, you don't go nowhere. But I'm like, I remember 10 years ago when I was going everywhere, I still wasn't. So it was just like from when I've been outside, you know, in the 20s and 30s, even the 40s, nothing. I don't even get the DMs.
I think that you have been tested though in these last couple of years with a few people. Now, I said, you know what I'm saying, and to see if you know you ready for a relationship or anything like that, or if you know how a relationship would be. And
I'm like, I ain't never talked to nobody that I really met organically. Everybody I've talked to has been through somebody.
Yeah. And you're probably gonna meet that person the same way.
This is just wow. I don't think I had thought about that until now.
Yeah, Takesha, I definitely think that when you heal, there's a level of protection that happens where ain't nobody gonna come to us now like they used to. You know what I'm saying? Even the people that we play with in the last 10 years, just when I say play, I literally mean, you know, it ain't gonna they can't come to us like that no more. It just literally whoever come know, and we've put ourselves out here publicly and everything. Don't think that like I say, don't think men ain't looking. Don't think they don't know. They know that you can't even approach me the way you used to approach me. There you know, and like we know some nice men or kind men, but as far as relationship, there is nobody that I've talked to previously that I could deal with now.
Yeah, I get that.
You know what I'm saying? So and not saying I'm better, but it's just a level of
it's just where I'm at. Like so, the balance.
Yeah, the balance. And you're it's been there a long time. So, you know, you have conversations with you know, you learning now. And I think too, like we said, there's levels of healing and awareness. You learning now that men and women can be friends.
I'm really trying to learn that.
You are. You're learning now that men and women can literally, I don't know how you didn't know that through me, because I have male friends that literally are just my friend. I had lunch with one last week that ain't never tried to kick it with me or try to sleep with me or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what's in me that I feel like I flirt with every man.
Because you do.
Even when I don't want them, have no interest. I automatically go into that.
You really think you want a relationship or a husband? Honestly, really think about that. Do you really believe that you want that?
Yes.
Do you think that you're ready for that?
Yes.
You are?
I am.
Then it's going to happen.
I am ready for this whole other person in my life. And honestly, I think it's funny, like I'm having an aha moment. I feel like all of the things that I've gone through over this last year, or even last couple of years, especially last year, but these last couple of years, got me to say where right now I can say it confidently, where before it might have just been on some lust type thing, but before the whole thing package that comes with it. Because before I didn't have boundaries. before I probably was buying love. You know what I'm saying? And not in a way where I literally thought that's what I was doing, but it's just like, oh, you want that? It's gonna make you happy. That make me happy. Mm-hmm. Even though just me and this person one-on-one or whoever should have been enough, you know, versus bringing in things. Like all of my relationships now, I say like naked, like we good naked without all of the material things.
Where it won't be surface level.
Right. And where I don't know if I really had that before.
No.
And I think getting to that point was somewhere where I needed to be. And I also really needed to understand my relationship with my son. Mm-hmm. I told him the other day, I was just like, I want a husband.
And he in agreement with that?
He was like, so, I mean, this person ain't gonna be my dad, but like a dad? Okay, that's kind of cool.
I believe this though about me, why it hasn't happened, because I've, like you said, I've had the opportunity, but I feel like this has been a period where I needed to focus on my kid. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people bring a revolving door of men when they're a single mother and their kids meet different men, and I just couldn't have that.
Or even if it's not a revolving, sometimes I feel like we move prematurely.
Yeah.
Where even if it's just one steady person, where it's just like your home life ain't even right for you to step out into somebody else's home.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like I needed to get so many things in order, you know, and to understand that my son is a grown man. Mm-hmm. He needs to go his, you know, separate way, and that's okay, instead of me being the helicopter mom, even though I'm probably going to always be that because that's my only one and that's my baby. But like now I understand, you know, certain levels, certain boundaries and things that would definitely be essential if I'm talking about being married.
And it's so funny because I have dated during this single period, and my kids knew I dated even though they didn't meet, you know. But I remember this one guy that I dated, the way he talked about my son and daughter was different. Like my daughter was I'm sure she's so nice and sweet, but my son, he wanted to be, you know, you shouldn't be that way with him, or he didn't have no kids, and he trying to dictate I knew then I cannot bring nobody into my situation, because what I got going on with me and mine is me and mine. Until I got them situated. I got one in college, I got one on a way, and I can't. How I parent, if you don't understand that, then you can't be with me.
And I am, girl, number one, because I remember dating this guy, and he didn't have no kids either, ironically. And I use dating very loosely because I don't even think we even went nowhere together for me to say dating. So I should say talking. But I remember him like, so what? I don't remember the situation, but I remember him like coming for me with something I was doing. I was just like, yeah, you not it. Like this ain't gonna work.
And I think that dude is the only dude I deleted and blocked from social media that I've dated, because I was like, your whole energy when it came to me and my children, it was off. And I'm sorry, sir. No. So I believe that's why that's part of the reason, one of the main reasons why
I definitely feel like I needed to grow. And
but if you say you're ready,
and I don't want, like, I just want him to fall out the sky. I don't want to date around like that. I don't want to do that.
To me, I mean,
so I'm asking for the impossible to be possible, which I'm pretty sure it is, because I believe
it's possible. Yeah, I believe it's possible, but people so nasty now and don't care. And when you don't, my thing is this: when you don't have a level of respect for your own self, your own body, why I think you gonna respect me? You know what I'm saying? You don't have a level of respect for your children, if you have children or whatever, or the type of relationship you have with other people. Why I think you gonna respect me? I can't do it.
And now that I know myself so intimately, and I don't mean intimately sexually, but I just mean intimately like the self-awareness in my mind and the things that I need, where before I feel like women, you know, we go into that people pleasing mode. We do these things to be liked, even if it's stuff that we don't like. Where like now I know, like, what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you're going to get. So do you feel, because it's Valentine's Day this weekend, do you feel that on Valentine's Day you're going to feel some type of way?
No, because in my entire life, I've never had a Valentine. So I'm going to feel like, and
it's a regular day.
Yeah, and I actually got one, and we're going to Joe Muir. Don't y'all come looking for me.
Right.
Future husband. You can.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I'm saying? So, and I mean, years ago, me and my one friend, that was every year we just would go out to dinner together. So it's, to me, that and how, you know, Midwest does Sweetest Day, those days I don't really care about. And I'm not really a calendar girl anyway. I just want somebody that's going to be in my life and hold me down. I definitely want that provider energy. And my provider energy goes way beyond just financially, because like we were talking about earlier, and we got to wrap it up. Like, I need to call you because
your
I'm
friend,
having,
you want them to be your friend.
Yeah.
And that's I've said it before. I don't, and the people I've dated probably would think differently. They probably would have felt like they were my friend. You know, I know 3 of them specifically probably for sure would say they were my friend, but I also feel like if you're my friend, you could be honest with me.
Yes.
About whatever. And if you can't be honest with me because on this side you want to be my friend, but on this side you want me to be your plaything because you think that this is going to mess up this, then you were not my friend. So I know what real friendship is. When I think back to that, I'm like, you could have just been honest. And we could still been, you know.
Because my thing is that I can make the decision like, okay, I know what it is,
yeah,
and this is what it's going to be.
Let me make the decision on what don't make the decision for me. Let me make the decision for what is best for me. Don't you try and hide and then portray to be my friend.
Right.
So I think that's why, and I'm not speaking negatively about relationships. I'm just at a place where I've never been before, where it feels good to be at a place of peace and not male-centered, because I've been male-centered for, you know, or was for so long, and to not be, and even not just male-centered, but just people pleasing the male. Just whatever, you know, doing whatever I can to try and keep the male. It's like, now I want to keep me.
And on that note, let's go to a close, because now I want to keep me.
Want to keep me. Hey, we want y'all to like, listen, subscribe, share. Tell us what y'all, we talked about a lot today. I don't even remember what the start of the conversation was, but tell us what you think in the comments. You know, give us, and if you disagree, we okay with that. You can give us your disagreeing comments. We ain't gonna go back and forth. We just, because we don't do that. But you know, tell us what you think. This was a girl chat that's for everybody. Have these conversations with your friends. Is that all, friends?
That's it.
We see y'all next week.